It's been rumored that they are like not doing well, separating. He was like photographed without his wedding band on, but then they've been seen together ever since. Like, it wouldn't be surprising to me
if they got divorced.
Amid Ben Affleck's mental breakdown, his daughter Violet has also shocked everyone with her latest statement that raises questions and concern. Fans think that his parents separating and Ben Affleck moving on with J.Lo has had an impact on Violet's mental health. But let's see what her mental breakdown was all about. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner's daughter is making sure that people hear her voice and doesn't back off until she fights for her rights. The 18-year-old Violet recently gave a very passionate speech at the meeting of the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors. Violet is actually very invested in COVID-19 protocols, so she was advocating for the availability of masks, free COVID testing, and other facilities. Violet also contracted COVID in 2019, and since then, she has been through a lot. Her case of COVID was really bad, and that's probably why she understands the issues of people who are still contracting COVID. Violet said in her speech, "I'm okay now, but I saw firsthand that medicine does not always have answers to the consequences of even minor viruses. The COVID-19 pandemic has thrown that into sharper relief.
I'm okay now, but I saw firsthand that medicine does not always have answers to the consequences of even minor viruses. The COVID-19 pandemic has thrown that into sharper relief."
She seemed very concerned about how the officials have suddenly stopped caring about the COVID infection, and they'll be in action again if the cases increase, which is just gonna end up with a lot of people losing their lives. Violet also said, 1 in 10 infections leads to long COVID, which is a devastating neurological and cardiovascular illness that can take away people's ability to work, move, see, and even think.
1 in 10 infections leads to long COVID, which is a devastating neurological cardiovascular illness that can take away people's ability to work, move, see, and even think.
Violet got very emotional during this speech because she knew what it was like, feeling abandoned and being cut out of the world. Insiders think that Violet is in a very stressful mental state these days because of her personal life, and that's probably why she got so emotional during her speech. Ben Affleck is going through a kind of a mental breakdown, and Jennifer Garner is now visiting him more often. He's also reportedly separating from J.Lo, so it's very confusing for Violet to figure out what her parents are up to. And she has to see all sorts of rumors about her father on TV every day, which would obviously be frustrating. It seemed like this speech was her way to talk about everything she's been thinking for quite a while now. She concluded her speech with a demand to oppose the mask bans that have been going on in Los Angeles. She said that the mask bans don't really keep us safe. In fact, they make healthy individuals more likely to contract COVID and end up in a hospital. And thousands of citizens in the hospital wouldn't really do any good for the city of Los Angeles. Violet is often spotted wearing a mask in public post-COVID. She has also received a lot of backlash and mockery for still wearing a mask, but she doesn't really care at this point. Insiders have reported that Violet almost died during COVID, so she doesn't want to repeat the same mistake again. So she wears the mask at most public places, and when she heard that some people are advocating a mask ban, she was a wreck. Violet immediately decided to raise the issue and talk about it on all platforms she can, and she effectively highlighted all parts of the COVID problem. She said, "It stands to exacerbate our homelessness crisis, as well as the suffering of many people in our city. It hits communities of color, disabled people, elderly people, trans people, and anyone in a public-facing essential job the hardest."
It stands to exacerbate our homelessness crisis, as well as the suffering of many people in our city. It hits communities of color, disabled people, elderly people, trans people, women, and anyone in a public-facing essential job the hardest.
Violet also put forth certain demands that were very practical, and she has since been praised by all the communities for being so loud and clear about her message. Violet demanded, "To confront the long COVID crisis, I demand mask availability, air filtration, and far UVC lights in government facilities, including jails and detention centers, and mask mandates in county medical facilities." This speech proves how strong and sorted Violet is, and people are giving the example of Jennifer Garner as a good mother. On the other hand, people are also criticizing J.Lo for making love documentaries, while her own relationship is falling apart.
I like taking my hair out like this. It reminds me like when I was 16 in the Bronx, running up and down the block. A crazy little girl who used to be wild and no limits, all dreams and
People think that J.Lo isn't giving enough attention to her kids and is obsessed with going from one guy to the other. Even now, some fans are saying that J.Lo is allegedly vacationing with her new item, while Ben Affleck is packing his stuff from the home they share.
51-year-old Ben Affleck is ready to call an end to his 2-year marriage, going as far as to claim the decision to tie the knot was down to temporary insanity.
It actually sounds sad, and Ben Affleck is going through a kind of mental breakdown, which is why Jennifer Garner is hanging out more with him. They also seem more comfortable with each other now. Fans think that Ben Affleck has seen what his world would be without Jennifer Garner, and now he's thinking about going back to her. Violet, their daughter, also graduated high school recently, so before the graduation, they spent a lot of family time together. Insiders think that during this time, Ben and Garner must have shared some moments, and now Ben has realized that he has made a grave mistake by marrying Jennifer Lopez. Violet would obviously want her parents to be back together, but navigating through their new relationship dynamic could actually be hard for her. Reports are that Ben Affleck hasn't been a very hands-on father after the divorce, and Violet was going through COVID in 2019, but Ben wasn't there. So Violet has become very distant with him, and now they're trying to get back to normal. Ben has been pretty busy with attending events and living his newly married life with J.Lo. But now that their relationship is finally going through a rough patch, Ben has gone back to his old ways and is giving more time to his family, especially Violet. It is probably why Violet has been very emotional lately, and fans believe that Violet gave this very powerful speech after discussing it with her dad. And Ben is happy to help her with everything because he also needs some sort of a distraction because his life is literally falling apart. Ben and J.Lo are also selling the house they own together, which means they're not really planning on living together anytime soon. And while Ben is spotted having a very obvious meltdown, J.Lo is enjoying her bikini shoots and vacations in Italy. Fans have been rooting for J.Lo and Ben together for decades, but now that they're finally together, fans are rooting for them to separate because there's so much wrong with their relationship. They're probably the least compatible couple in Hollywood according to a lot of people, and their marriage is gonna crash and burn in no time. So Ben is probably finding ways to cope with it, and that's why he's spending more time with his ex-wife and daughter. So do you think there's any chance that Ben Affleck will get back together with Jennifer Garner and Violet would once again get her big happy family? Drop a comment and let us know. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel to get the latest celebrity news and gossip. We'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and thanks for watching.